the parable of the risky trader. And it came to pass, in the land of commerce, that there arose a young man whose heart was filled with a great desire for wealth, and he sought his fortune in the markets of foreign currencies, which the people called forex. Now, in the days of his youth, the young man did hear tales of traders who had risen from humble beginnings to great riches, and these traders, through wisdom and diligence, had gathered unto themselves much gold and silver. And the young man said within his heart, Lo, if I set mine hand upon the markets, and if I seek swift gain, surely I too shall be numbered among the prosperous. Yet the young man had not patience within him, neither did he seek to understand the way of the market. He heeded not the counsel of those who had walked before him, nor did he incline his ear unto wisdom. But he gathered all his wealth, though it was small, and entered the marketplace with a heart eager for gain. And he said unto himself, Fortune shall smile upon me, and I shall rise up quickly, and gather bounty from every trade I make. And so it was that he invested with fervor, and his trades were many. Yet he guarded neither his heart nor his wealth. And on the first day he saw profit, and his heart was lifted up with pride. And he said, Behold, I am favored, for I have entered the market, and come forth with much gain. But on the morrow he sought to multiply his wealth yet more, and he took unto himself even greater risks, placing trades beyond his means, for he was driven by greed. But the market moved not in his favor, and his wealth was cut down as swiftly as it had grown. And the young man was sorely troubled, for his fortune was lost, and he knew not what he should do. And he wandered the marketplace in his sorrow, seeking counsel, until he came upon an elder trader, a man known throughout the land for his wisdom and his understanding of the market. And the elder looked upon the young man with compassion, and said unto him, Why art thou troubled, and why is thy countenance fallen? Didst thou not know that the market is as the sea, with waves that rise and fall, and that no man can command its tides? And the young man answered, I entered with hope and confidence, for I thought to multiply my gains swiftly, and that the riches of the market would be mine. And the elder sighed and said, Many are they who enter with such thoughts, but few are they who prosper thereby. Hast thou not heard that wisdom is greater than haste, and that patience bringeth forth more than greed? For the market is like unto a field. If thou sow before the season, thou shalt reap nothing but loss. And the young man was silent, for he saw that his ways had been unwise. And the elder spoke again, saying, Hearken now unto me, if thou wouldst find understanding. Trade not as one who is blind to the ways of the market, but learn its seasons and its ways. For the market shall try thee, and in trying shall reveal thy folly. Seek not to master it by force, but rather, in humility, learn its ways. Then the elder took a silver coin from his pouch, and held it before the young man, saying, Look upon this coin. To one without understanding, it is but a piece of silver, but to one with wisdom it is a measure, to be gained and kept. And the elder continued, Do not chase after every trade, as one who chaseth the wind, for such a path leadeth only to loss. Let thy trades be few and filled with purpose. Let thy risks be measured and sure. Even as a wise builder gathereth stones with care to build a strong house, so shouldst thou gather thy trades with patience and understanding. Guard thy capital, for it is thy foundation, and without it thy efforts shall crumble as sand before the sea. Then the young man asked, But master, how shall I guard my wealth? For I have heard that in great risk there is great reward. And the elder smiled and said, "There is a season for every purpose under heaven, and a time to gather, and a time to refrain from gathering. He who casteth all his wealth into the market shall be like the fool who buildeth his house upon the sand. For when the storm cometh, he shall be swept away. But he who guardeth his wealth and risketh but a portion shall stand firm in the day of trouble." And the elder took a staff, and drew 2 lines upon the ground. "Behold," he said, "one line is the path of greed, and its end is ruin. The other is the path of patience, and its end is prosperity. The greedy man seeketh gain at every turn, and his heart is never satisfied. He casteth his wealth into every venture, and in the end he findeth nothing. But the patient man waiteth for the right season, and he preserveth his wealth. His gain is steady, and his peace endureth." And the young man, hearing these words, pondered them in his heart. And the elder said, "Let not thy heart be ruled by fear, nor by greed. For in fear thou shalt flee from opportunity, and in greed thou shalt chase after mirages. But the wise trader is disciplined in spirit, and waiteth with a calm heart, knowing that in due season his diligence shall bring reward." And it came to pass that the young man took the words of the elder to heart, and departed from him with new-found wisdom. And when he returned to the market, he traded with patience and temperance, and his fortune grew little by little. And in time the young man too became known as one of the wise, and he taught others, saying, "The way of haste leadeth to loss, but the path of patience and wisdom bringeth lasting gain." And so the parable of the risky trader was told throughout the land, as a lesson for all who would seek riches in the markets.